So, I just did the brakes on this here $1,300 Miata, which has been sitting over there and is now here. It was out there, I was driving it, but then the brakes started making noise. And you can see why these pads are pretty much gone. One of them is actually... Where did it go? That one kind of went too far, but the rotor seemed pretty alright, so these were like $18 pads. I figure I'll just try changing the pads, and if the rotor eats through the pads, I'll just do the whole stinking upgrade thing to the 94 brakes, because these pads are the only ones I could even get for this without like ordering them in advance. See, this is the thing, right? Easiest brake job I've ever done. None of the bolts were seized. The hardest thing actually was getting the wheels off, because they haven't been off in so long. I had to like hit this one with a wooden baseball bat several times to get it to come off. But this is a Michigan car, as far as I know, and there's like no rust anywhere. It still has the under tray, which I didn't even know it was a thing until I watched a few people's YouTube videos. The underside, I'm actually looking at it for the first time right now, but you can see the frame rails, or whatever you want to call them, not pancakes. You can see the exhaust is maybe a bit rusty, but not too bad. And yeah, I mean, it's way better than the 94 that I bought for over twice this much, so I'm not gonna complain. It looks like there's some fluid there. I guess that's the part of the transmission, because that's the only thing this thing's got an issue with, is it's an automatic, which most Miata people see as a problem to begin with. I don't really care that much. I have a 40-mile each way commute, and I'm in a lot of traffic, so it's fine with me to have an automatic, but it won't move and drive until you're in second gear. So you got to put it in first or second to start, and then it'll go from there. Then you can go into drive. So it's kind of fun, because then I can do like a normal person would, and like start in first, shift into second, get the RPMs way up more than 5 or more than like 3 or 4,000, where the thing normally shifts on its own. Pretty sure these are the stock shocks or struts, whatever you want to call it. I guess this would be a strut. Because I don't know. I mean, it says NA23, and I feel like that's probably, this thing is all gone, so I'm thinking those are probably the originals. So they have 100,000 miles on them, and they're still pretty decent handling wise. There's some overspray here on the, I don't know what they did, but whoever painted this thing last didn't do a very good job, so I'll be doing something about that. But it's got wheels off of like an NB. I don't know what year or anything, but it's fine. I don't mind them. Better than the ugly Rota things that were on my old Miata that I sold. But the bumper's got, some cracking in it. So does the front one. There's like a dent somewhere in here. There's a dent in the, what's it called? There's a dent up here. Here's some more overspray and some horrendous, like, brushed on or rolled on, dripped on paint. Same thing up here, and then that's peeling off. But it's not, for $1,300, it's not that bad. The only other thing that's unfortunate, they got some overspray on the window, but I should be able to razor blade that off. And then the tombstone's missing, which is funny because I had the old one from my first Miata, and then I sold it for significantly less than it would cost me to get one now. But it's really too bad altogether, because if I still had that car, I could put the entire like drivetrain in this thing, and I'd have like the 1.8 drive shaft and differential and all the stuff back there that's slightly better than the 1.6 stuff. It wasn't like a Torsen or anything, but it was better than the stuff that's in it now, in this one now. But yeah, this was seriously the easiest brake job I've ever done. I mean, there were no missing parts. The little clips that go in here to hold the pads apart are actually still there. So it was just amazing because usually like everything is seized, every bolt won't come out. I have to replace the calipers, I have to replace the rotors, like everything. Every time I buy a car, when I go to do brakes, everything's broken, and it's not on this one. And it doesn't leak anything either. Like, it's nice to have something that doesn't leak. So that's it. I don't want to make this video any longer. There's that thing. I don't know if I ever did any videos about this thing, but I'm not gonna like segue into that now. So yeah, there it is in all its cracked bumper glory. I figure I can probably maybe sand this down a little and make it less awful at least. But crooked hover Miata. There you go.